The 70th topic is make a list of your life. Never hesitate to sit down with yourself and make a list. The more you write things down, the more you can detect your own future. There is an unfortunate myth that lists make things travel, but the lists do the opposite. They make things come. They make things come alive. I have a friend who made a list of all positive things about himself that he can think of, that he could think of. He listed every characteristics and accomplishment that he could remember in his life that he was proud of. He keeps the list in his briefcase and says he often reads through it when he is feeling down. He often reads through it when he is feeling down. By seeing all those things written down and letting myself read them one at a time, I can change my entire attitude from being discouraged to feeling positive about myself, he says. Writing list of goals and objective is also powerful self-motivator. It's one thing to go into a meeting mentally briefed of what you want to accomplish, but you will feel even stronger having written it out. But you will feel even stronger having written it out. There is something about writing something down that makes it more real to the right side of your brain. There is something more writing something down that makes it more real to right to, to right side of your brain. My friend Fred Knight sometimes travel to Phoenix to spend a day talking with me. We have been close friends since college and share unorthodox sense of humor. Our meetings together are anything but structured. Our meetings together are anything but structured. We are free associated. We free associates and talk about everything under the sun. Yes, I notice that he will often arrive with the list. Yes, I notice that he will often arrive with the list. In the days prior to our meetings, he will jot down subjects. He wants to be sure he remembers to talk to me about while we are together. In the days prior to our meetings, he will jot down subjects he wants to be sure he remember to talk to me about while we are together. And it's because our conversations are so free form that he list is valuable for him. And it's because our conversations are so free form that the list is valuable for him. He doesn't ever have to call me back the next day and try to discuss something over the phone that would have been much better discussed in person. If you are ever tried grocery shopping for a large event without shopping list, if you have ever tried grocery shopping for a large event without the shopping list, you are aware of the nightmare it can be. Most people have learned not to shop that way. Most people have learned not to shop that way. I have learned by hard experience that it can mean additional trips to the store to pick up forgotten items. Yes, why is it that people don't apply the same principles to their lives? Most people take more times planning a picnic than they do planning a life because they know that if they don't make a list and forget hot dog buns as a result, they are going to be called an idiot by someone. But isn't a life as important as a picnic? But isn't a life as important as a picnic? Start by listing all the things you would like to do before you die. Start by listing all the things you would like to do before you die. Keep the list somewhere handy where you can look at it and add to it. keep the list somewhere in the handy where you can look at it and add to it. Then list the people in your life you want to remember. Then the list the people in your life you want to remain close to and stay in touch with. Friendship is the precocious. Friendship is so precocious. Why let it be forgotten? It sounds silly to make a list of your friends, but you will be surprised at how it reminds you who's important and motivates you to stay in touch. My friend Teddy Hill, the writer, is one of the greatest list maker of all time. He has a list of every book he has ever read, every poem he has read, and many more things I don't even know about. It gives his life a sense of history, depth, and direction. We don't have to wait to become famous so that someone else might write our history. We can be writing our history while it happens. And when we list our goals, we are writing our history before it happens. When legendary advertising executive David Ogilvy started his advertising agency by making a list of clients that he most wanted: General Foods, Lever Brothers, Bristol Myers, Campbell Soup Company, and Shell Oil. At the time, they were the biggest advertising accounts in the world, and he had none of them. But in the sense, he did have them because they were in the list. But in the sense, they did have them. He did have them. It took time, said Ogilvy, but in due course, I got them all. But in due course, I got them all. A goal gains power when you write it down, and more power every time you write it down. What motivate your most in life? What motivate you most in life ought to be in your own handwriting. People all too often look for motivation in the what others have written. If you become a good list maker, you will learn how to motivate yourself by what you have written. If you become a good list maker, you will learn how to motivate yourself by what you have written. Thank you.